Well, joining me now is Siegenthaler, who's senior forex strategist for UBS. So you heard Elliot talking about Enda Kenny's plans there when he goes in. If we do see the new government try to renegotiate the EU IMF bailout, what's that going to mean for the euro?
Yeah, that's really the big question. I mean, at the moment, it looks like there's very little chance of that, and that's why I think the euro is not going to react very much to the elections. It's pretty virtually certain what kind of outcome in the broad terms we will get, and it's certainly not the market focus at the moment. And so, if, yes, there were attempts to renegotiate this package, it would be a very big deal for the euro, and it would very likely be quite negative. But since that's a low probability, the euro is not going to react.
The euro is doing pretty well indeed. I mean, from its lows in June, at the peak of the crisis, it was 119. It's now 138. Surely at that level, you begin to be concerned about specifically peripheral Europe, which is dependent on exports.
Well, I think, at the moment, FX markets are very much driven by central bank policy, by central bank rhetoric. And there we have a very hawkish ECB and we have a very dovish Fed. And that really explains why euro-dollar is where it is at the moment. And as long as there is a clear perspective that the ECB is going to hike rates and the Fed is not this year, I think it's quite difficult for the euro to fall.
Nevertheless, isn't the euro at this level a risk for the economy?
Yes, it will be an additional negative point, particularly for peripheral Europe. But the core Europe, Germany, Netherlands, Austria, have been doing very well economically. So at the moment, the market is not focused on these risks, but it can change.
So you say that what's driving the euro right now is the expectations that the ECB may raise rates more quickly. But we're also seeing evidence that the euro is seeing some of the money that's flowing out of the Middle East. Do you think that it's challenging the dollar as a safe haven here?
It is quite interesting that the dollar has not been able to benefit as much as maybe we would have expected from the Middle East tensions. And there is a question, indeed, whether the dollar doesn't have that kind of safe haven attraction anymore as it used to. It's probably premature to say that. I think what really happens is that oil prices go up. That means more inflationary pressures, and it means the ECB, again, is more willing to react to those pressures than the Fed is. So again, it comes down to central bank policy.
How much higher could the euro go here?
Well, I think a big additional factor will be the March 24th, 25th European summit, and whether they come forward with some kind of comprehensive solution. If that were to come and the market were to kind of move on from this subject, we could go well above 140. If those two things fall together in place, rate hikes plus Eurozone trouble solved, 150, I think, is possible.
Very quickly, do you think the market has moved on? Is the Eurozone debt crisis the worst of it behind us?
Probably not. Probably not yet. But really, this March summit will be a crucial event, and it could be, as they say, a game changer for the euro.
Siegenthaler of UBS, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.